The 2026 season hasn't begun yet, but tensions are already running high in the paddock after Marc Márquez received a surprising threat. The situation escalated when big names like Valentino Rossi and other rivals were implicated in crazy threats that could shake up the competitive landscape next season. Could this be the start of a major psychological war that will make the 2026 season one of the most intense in MotoGP history? Let's discuss it. Although the 2026 season hasn't officially begun, the competitive atmosphere in the paddock is already intense. The spotlight is on one big name, Marc Márquez. After a dominant season with Ducati course last year, he now faces even greater pressure. Being the reigning world champion is no comfort zone. For Marquez, the title represents the starting point for nearly impossible expectations. Last season, Marquez proved that he still has a steely mentality. He recovered from an injury, quickly adapted to the Ducati, and reclaimed the top spot. However, defending the title is far more difficult than winning it. Now, any result other than a win would be considered a failure. Ducati is still considered the best bike on the grid. However, their dominance is no longer absolute. Aprilia, KTM, and Yamaha continue to show significant improvements. The margin for error was getting smaller. One small mistake could cause them to lose momentum in the title race. Marquez was aware of this. He didn't panic, he didn't show any fear, but the pressure was clearly growing behind his calm exterior. One of the biggest threats this season came from Marco Bezzecchi of Aprilia Racing. The Italian rider impressed throughout the pre-season testing in Buriram by setting the fastest time and demonstrating consistent performance in long race simulations. While many of his rivals experienced a drop in performance when the track grip changed, Bezzecchi was able to maintain his rhythm and stability. But what made him even more dangerous was not just his time. Bezzecchi displayed a realistic and calculated attitude. He refused to be complacent with the pre-season test results, openly stating that Ducati was still the top favourite. This statement may seem modest, but it reflects his focus and maturity in assessing the competitive landscape. His calm demeanour makes Aprilia even more threatening. They're not just here to liven up the top-tier competition. They're here on a mission to overthrow the dominant force. There's no excessive euphoria or war of words, just a quiet work and thorough preparation. When Marc Márquez praised Bezzecchi as his strongest rival this season, the Italian rider responded coolly and firmly. He understands that praise from a world champion can be a form of pressure or a psychological strategy. Therefore, Bezzecchi chose to remain silent. His answer was simple. He would prove himself on the track. Marc Márquez faces threats not only from his rivals on the track, but also from other sources. Behind the cameras and the roar of the engines, there is constant speculation about his contract situation with Ducati. Unclear future negotiations open up a world of possibilities, and every statement is now being analysed with rapt attention by the public and those in the paddock. The 2026 season is pivotal because it signals the transition to the 2027 regulations. Major changes to technical rules significantly impact the competitive landscape. There's no guarantee which team will dominate the next era. Ducati is strong right now, but the future of technological development is uncertain. Current superiority doesn't guarantee future success. In this situation, Marquez is at a crucial crossroads. He can either stay with Ducati and hope that they remain a major force when the new regulations are implemented, or he can seek new challenges elsewhere. Alternatively, he can seek new challenges in a different environment to prove himself. Amidst all the risks and physical pressures he has endured throughout his career, there is much speculation as to whether he might retire sooner than expected. His recent emotional statement left many speechless. He wasn't just talking about victories or championship titles. He was talking about a long journey filled with risks, sacrifices, and the harsh realities of racing that don't always favour anyone, not even the legends. For some long-time fans, including loyal Valentino Rossi supporters, this situation feels like a new chapter that could determine the course of MotoGP history. Whatever decision Marquez makes will reportedly impact not just one team, but also the balance of power in this new era of the World Championship. Marc Márquez still possesses one invaluable asset: a champion's mentality. Throughout his career, he has proven time and again that he can bounce back from the most difficult situations, from serious injuries that nearly ended his dominance to relentless public pressure to fierce on-track duels against the world's best rivals. Each obstacle has only tempered his resilience and strengthened his character as a true fighter. However, MotoGP 2026 is about more than experience and fame. This season demands faster adaptation than ever before, precise strategies for every round, and consistency from start to finish. Meanwhile, the challengers are ready to take the stage. Francesco Bagnaia arrives with the composure and maturity of a proven world champion. Fabio Quartararo continues to rebuild his momentum, driven by his ambition to return to the top. Meanwhile, Marco Bezzecchi is growing increasingly confident and aggressive, ready to exploit every opening. Marquez is no longer just a rider chasing victory. He has become a symbol of dominance and the highest standards on the track. All eyes are on him. Every mistake will be magnified and every weakness mercilessly attacked. The pressure is real, but that is precisely where his true strength lies. In a place where his champion mentality will be tested once again to prove that he is still worthy of being the centre of attention in the 2026 MotoGP. Amid the heated competition, Rossi's comments on the 2026 title dynamics sparked new speculation. As a legend and the owner of the VR46 team, Rossi believes that MotoGP is entering a generational transition phase. In a statement, Rossi emphasised this, saying, "The era is changing. MotoGP is now very different. Many young talents are ready to take over." Some observers interpreted this statement as a sign that Rossi sees an opportunity to end Marquez's dominance. However, Marquez's success in bouncing back, winning again, and remaining the centre of attention has actually revived old narratives. For some fans, Marquez's continued success feels like reviving old rivalries, and it's been said that this has put Rossi's camp under symbolic mental pressure again. Furthermore, if Marquez wins again in 2026, his achievements and influence in history will be even closer to those of the icons of the previous era, possibly surpassing them. Marquez is not provoked by all these dynamics. Instead, he says, "I'm not racing to prove anything to anyone. I just want to enjoy this moment and do my best while I still can." His tone is calmer and more reflective now. He's no longer just chasing records. He talks about the journey, the risks, and the meaning of a career. However, it's precisely this change in mentality that could make him even more dangerous. Ultimately, the 2026 season isn't just about who has the fastest bike or the best strategy. It's about mentality and being truly prepared to survive the increasingly brutal storm of pressure. Can Marquez face these challenges and emerge as the reigning MotoGP champion once again in 2026? Let us know your thoughts below